Consumer Reports, a trusted authority in vehicle evaluations, has identified several cars that fall short in areas such as reliability, owner satisfaction, and overall performance. Based on their assessments, here are some of the lowest-ranked vehicles. 1. 2024 Jeep Wrangler. The Jeep Wrangler is an off-road icon, but when it comes to everyday driving, it falls short in many ways. Consumer Reports has given it a low overall score due to several factors, including a stiff and bumpy ride that makes highway travel uncomfortable. The cabin is also incredibly noisy, which can make long drives feel tiring. While it excels in rugged terrain, it lacks the refinement that most modern SUVs offer. The interior ergonomics are awkward, with a high step in height and difficult-to-use controls. Fuel efficiency is another major drawback, as the Wrangler's boxy shape and off-road oriented design make it one of the least fuel-efficient SUVs in its class. Despite its reputation for durability, Consumer Reports also gave it a poor predicted reliability score, which raises concerns about long-term ownership costs. Owners have reported issues with electrical components, transmission problems, and suspension concerns. 2. 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. The Mitsubishi Mirage is one of the cheapest cars on the market, but its affordability comes at a steep cost in terms of performance and overall quality. Consumer Reports has given it one of the lowest scores due to its underpowered engine, which struggles to keep up with highway speeds and makes even city driving feel sluggish. The continuously variable transmission, CVT, is slow to respond, further diminishing its drivability. Inside, the Mirage has one of the loudest cabins in its class, with poor sound insulation that allows excessive wind and road noise to enter. The interior materials feel cheap, and the seats provide little support, making longer trips uncomfortable. Handling is also a major weak point, with excessive body roll and unresponsive steering that make the Mirage feel unstable at higher speeds. Despite its small size, visibility is not great due to thick. 3. 2024 Polestar 2. The Polestar 2 is a sleek and futuristic electric vehicle, but its performance in key areas leaves much to be desired. Consumer Reports has given it a disappointing rating, with one of the biggest issues being its rough and uncomfortable ride. The suspension is stiff, which means drivers and passengers feel every bump and crack in the road. The interior, while modern in design, is not as spacious as competitors, leading to a cramped feeling, especially for taller passengers. One of the most frustrating aspects of the Polestar 2 is its confusing control system. Many basic functions, such as adjusting climate settings, require navigating through a touchscreen interface rather than using physical buttons, making it distracting to operate while driving. Predicted reliability is another area of concern, with Consumer Reports giving it one of the lowest reliability scores in the segment. Owners have reported issues with software glitches, battery management problems, and inconsistent charging performance. 4. 2024 Jeep Renegade. The Jeep Renegade is a compact SUV with rugged styling, but it falls short in almost every other category. Consumer Reports has given it a low overall rating due to its stiff ride and poor driving dynamics. The suspension does not absorb bumps well. The transmission is another major drawback, with slow shifts and clunky behavior that make acceleration feel sluggish. Visibility is also an issue, with thick pillars and a small rear window, making it difficult to see out of the vehicle. Inside, the Renegade's front seats are uncomfortable, especially on longer drives, and the interior materials feel cheap for a vehicle in this price range. Fuel economy is underwhelming, with many competitors offering better efficiency without sacrificing performance. Reliability is also a concern, as past models have had a history of mechanical issues. 5. 2024 Jeep Gladiator. The Jeep Gladiator combines the off-road capability of a Wrangler with the utility of a pickup truck, but the end result is a vehicle that struggles in both areas. Consumer Reports has given it a low overall score, citing poor ride quality. The Gladiator's solid axle suspension makes for a rough ride on paved roads, causing it to feel unsettled over bumps and potholes. The steering is vague, requiring constant corrections at highway speeds, which can make long drives exhausting. While the truck bed adds practicality, it comes at the cost of maneuverability, as the Gladiator's long wheelbase makes it difficult to park and navigate tight spaces. Fuel economy is another major issue, as the Gladiator's V6 engine is thirsty compared to more modern and efficient competitors. 6. 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. The Chevrolet Silverado 1500 has been a staple in the truck market for years, but the 2024 model has received a disappointing score from Consumer Reports. One of the biggest issues with this full-size truck is its inconsistent ride quality. Even on smooth roads, the suspension feels stiff and unrefined, making for a jarring experience. The handling is also supple, with vague steering that requires constant adjustments, especially when towing or carrying a heavy load. Another major drawback is the Silverado's outdated interior. While competitors like the Ford F-150 and Ram 1500 offer modern, high-quality cabins, the Silverado feels cheap by comparison. Hard plastics, uninspiring design, and an infotainment system that lacks responsiveness all contribute to an underwhelming driving experience. Predicted reliability is another concern, as previous models have suffered from issues with the transmission. 7. 2024 Ford Explorer. The Ford Explorer is one of the most recognizable SUVs on the market, but the 2024 model falls short in several key areas, earning it a low score from Consumer Reports. One of the biggest complaints is the Explorer's rough and uncomfortable ride. The suspension is too firm, causing it to bounce excessively over bumps and uneven roads. Handling is also a weak point, as the steering feels disconnected and the vehicle leans too much in turns, making it less confident to drive than rivals. Inside, the Explorer's cabin doesn't impress. The materials feel cheap, and the overall design looks dated compared to newer competitors like the Hyundai Palisade or Toyota Highlander. The infotainment system is another source of frustration, as it can be slow to respond and lacks the user-friendliness of other systems. Despite its size, the Explorer's interior isn't as spacious as one might expect, with the third row being especially cramped. Reliability is a major concern, as Consumer Reports has noted frequent issues with the transmission, engine components, and electrical systems in recent models. 8. 2024 Nissan Altima. The Nissan Altima has been a popular midsize sedan for years, but the 2024 model has not lived up to expectations. Consumer Reports has ranked it poorly due to several ongoing issues, starting with its uninspiring driving experience. The continuously variable transmission, CVT, is one of the main complaints, as it makes the Altima feel sluggish and unresponsive, particularly when accelerating. Inside, the cabin feels outdated, with cheap materials and an infotainment system that lacks the smoothness and intuitiveness of rival systems. The seats, while generally comfortable, don't offer much support for long drives. Reliability has been a concern for several years, with issues related to the CVT transmission being one of the biggest complaints from owners. Nissan's CVT has a history of premature failure, leading to expensive repairs that many owners have had to deal with. 9. 2024 Volkswagen Atlas. The Volkswagen Atlas is one of the largest three-row SUVs available, but its size does not translate into quality. Consumer Reports has given the 2024 Atlas a low score, primarily due to its underwhelming reliability and overall driving experience. One of the most glaring issues is the ride quality. Despite its large size, the Atlas struggles to provide a smooth and comfortable ride, as the suspension feels stiff and unrefined. Road noise is also a problem, making highway travel less enjoyable. The interior of the Atlas is spacious, but the build quality does not match the expectations for a vehicle in this price range. Hard plastics and cheap-feeling materials dominate the cabin, making it feel less premium than rivals like the Kia Telluride or Hyundai Palisade. The infotainment system, while functional, is not the most user-friendly and lacks the responsiveness of some competitor systems. 10. 2024 Chrysler 300. The Chrysler 300 is a full-size sedan with a bold design, but its appeal has faded over the years. Consumer Reports has given it a low ranking due to its outdated platform, supple ride quality, and disappointing reliability. The 300 is built on an old design that has not seen significant updates in years, making it feel less refined than modern competitors. The suspension, while comfortable on smooth roads, struggles over bumps and potholes, resulting in a less than smooth ride. Inside, the Chrysler 300 offers a spacious cabin, but the overall design feels dated. The materials are not as high quality as one would expect from a full-size sedan, and the technology lags behind rivals. The infotainment system, while functional, does not feel as advanced as those found in newer vehicles. Despite having a powerful V6 and available HEMI V8, fuel economy is below average, making it less practical for those looking for efficiency. One of the biggest concerns is reliability. Consumer Reports has noted frequent issues with the engine, transmission, and electrical system, leading to costly repairs for owners. With so many more modern and efficient options available, the Chrysler 300 struggles to compete, making it one of the least recommended sedans for 2024. 11. 2024 Dodge Journey. The Dodge Journey has been one of the most outdated SUVs on the market for years, and the 2024 model continues to disappoint. Consumer Reports has given it one of the lowest ratings in its class, citing poor reliability, subpar safety scores, and an underwhelming driving experience. One of the biggest drawbacks is its outdated powertrain. The sluggish engine and outdated transmission make acceleration slow and unresponsive, especially when merging onto highways. The handling is equally unimpressive, with excessive body roll that makes the Journey feel unstable in corners. The interior is another weak point. While it technically offers 3 rows of seating, the space is cramped and the materials feel cheap. Hard plastics dominate the cabin, making it feel far less refined than competitors like the Toyota Highlander or Honda Pilot. The infotainment system is also outdated, lacking the modern features that many drivers expect today. On top of that, safety ratings are below average, making it a poor choice for families who prioritize security. Reliability has been a persistent issue, with owners frequently reporting transmission failures, electrical malfunctions, and suspension problems. Combined with its poor fuel economy and outdated design. 12. 2024 Nissan Kicks. The Nissan Kicks may look stylish and affordable, but its drawbacks far outweigh its strengths. Consumer Reports has criticized the 2024 model for its underpowered engine, lackluster ride quality, and below-average reliability. The small 1.6-liter engine struggles to provide adequate power, making highway merging and passing other vehicles a challenge. The continuously variable transmission, CVT, further diminishes the driving experience, feeling sluggish and unresponsive. Inside, the Kicks offers a surprisingly spacious cabin, but the materials used are cheap and plasticky. The seats provide minimal support, which can make long drives uncomfortable. The infotainment system is basic, and while it does have smartphone connectivity, it lacks the speed and smoothness of rival systems. Ride comfort is another area where the Kicks fails to impress. The suspension does a poor job of absorbing bumps, and road noise is excessive, making highway driving less enjoyable. Reliability has also been a concern, with Consumer Reports noting problems with the transmission, electrical components, and build quality. 13. 2024 Jeep Compass. The Jeep Compass is supposed to be a rugged and adventurous compact SUV, but Consumer Reports has consistently ranked it as one of the least reliable options in its segment. The 2024 model continues to disappoint with its sluggish acceleration, lackluster handling, and subpar build quality. Under the hood, the Compass is powered by a weak 2.0-liter turbocharged engine that struggles to provide the responsiveness needed for highway driving. The transmission is also a problem, as shifts can feel rough and unpredictable. Inside, the Compass attempts to present a stylish and modern cabin, but the materials used feel cheap and poorly assembled. The seats lack comfort, especially on long trips, and the rear passenger space is tight. The infotainment system is functional, but suffers from slow response times, making it frustrating to use. Ride quality is another major drawback, as the suspension does not handle rough roads well, leading to excessive bumps and vibrations inside the cabin. 14. 2024 Chevrolet Malibu. The Chevrolet Malibu has been around for decades, but the 2024 model proves why this midsize sedan is struggling to remain relevant. Consumer Reports has placed it on the list of worst cars due to its lackluster performance, outdated interior, and ongoing reliability concerns. One of the biggest disappointments is the driving experience. The base engine is underpowered, making acceleration sluggish and unexciting. Handling is also below average, with vague steering that makes the car feel disconnected from the road. Inside, the Malibu feels outdated compared to competitors. The materials used are not up to par, and the overall cabin design lacks the premium feel of rival sedans like the Honda Accord or Hyundai Sona. The infotainment system is functional but not as intuitive or responsive as others in the segment. Space-wise, the rear seats are adequate, but the overall comfort level is not impressive. Reliability is another major concern. 16. 2024 Fiat 500X. The Fiat 500X is meant to be a stylish and fun subcompact crossover, but it falls short in several key areas. Consumer Reports has given it low ratings due to its weak performance, poor reliability, and uncomfortable ride quality. The turbocharged engine lacks refinement and feels sluggish, particularly when trying to accelerate on highways. The transmission is another problem, as shifts can be jerky and inconsistent, leading to a frustrating driving experience. The rear seats are cramped and cargo space is far less than what you'd get in rivals like the Honda HR-V or Hyundai Kona. Reliability is one of the biggest concerns. Fiat has struggled with long-term durability, and the 500X continues to suffer from electrical issues. 17. 2024 Cadillac CT4. The Cadillac CT4 is supposed to be a luxury compact sedan, but it fails to deliver the refinement expected from a high-end brand. Consumer Reports has ranked it among the worst cars due to its uncomfortable ride, unimpressive interior, and reliability issues. The base engine is underwhelming, providing sluggish acceleration, while the transmission is slow to respond. Despite being marketed as a sporty sedan, the handling feels uninspiring compared to European rivals like the BMW 3 Series or Audi A4. The interior of the CT4 does not live up to its luxury badge. The materials feel low quality with too much hard plastic for a car in this price range. The infotainment system is not as advanced as what's found in other luxury vehicles, and the rear seat space is cramped, making it impractical for passengers. Ride quality is another weak point, as the stiff suspension leads to a rough and noisy experience on less than perfect roads. Reliability has been a concern with Cadillac sedans, and the CT4 continues that trend. Owners have reported transmission problems, electrical issues, and engine malfunctions. For those looking for a luxury compact sedan, better options are available from German and Japanese automakers. 18. 2024 Volkswagen Atlas. The Volkswagen Atlas is one of the largest SUVs in its segment, but bigger doesn't always mean better. Consumer Reports has consistently ranked it as one of the least reliable SUVs due to its transmission issues, electrical failures, and interior quality concerns. The Atlas may look stylish, but under the hood, it suffers from an underwhelming powertrain. The base 4-cylinder engine feels sluggish, and even the optional V6 struggles to deliver smooth acceleration. Inside, the Atlas boasts a spacious cabin, but the materials used feel far from premium. Hard plastics and cheap trims make it less appealing than competitors like the Honda Pilot or Toyota Highlander. Additionally, the infotainment system is slow and prone to glitches, frustrating drivers who expect modern tech. One of the biggest complaints is its reliability. Many owners have reported repeated trips to the dealership for engine and electrical problems, making long-term ownership a headache. Combine that with supper fuel economy and a stiff ride, and it's easy to see why the Volkswagen Atlas isn't a popular choice among SUV buyers. 19. 2024 Nissan Armada. The Nissan Armada is a full-size SUV that promises power and space, but it falls short in almost every category. One of the biggest drawbacks is its outdated engine, which guzzles fuel at an alarming rate. The massive V8 delivers decent power, but it lacks the efficiency found in modern turbocharged or hybrid competitors. As a result, gas mileage is one of the worst in its class, making it an expensive SUV to own. The Armada also struggles with outdated technology. While Nissan has tried to update the interior, it still feels like a step behind rivals such as the Ford Expedition or Chevrolet Tahoe. The infotainment system is sluggish and connectivity features feel outdated. Ride quality is another weak point, as the stiff suspension makes it uncomfortable over rough roads. Reliability issues have also plagued the Armada. Consumer Reports has flagged multiple issues with its transmission, suspension, and braking system. Many owners have complained about costly repairs, making it a risky investment, while it might offer a rugged look and towing capacity. 2024 Chrysler 300. The Chrysler 300 was once a popular choice for those looking for an American-style luxury sedan, but in 2024, it's completely outdated. One of the biggest issues is its aging platform. While competitors have moved forward with modern hybrid and electric powertrains, the 300 still relies on an old V6 and V8 engine lineup, making it inefficient and less refined. Inside, the cabin feels dated, with outdated materials and an infotainment system that lacks the smoothness of modern sedans. While it offers a roomy interior, the overall comfort level isn't impressive. Handling is another drawback, as the 300 feels heavy and less agile than rivals like the Toyota Camry or Honda Accord. Reliability is a major concern, with Consumer Reports frequently reporting transmission failures, electrical issues, and engine problems. The Chrysler 300's outdated design, poor fuel economy, and frequent breakdowns have led to a steep decline in sales, making it one of the worst cars still on the market today. 2024 GMC Acadia. The GMC Acadia is an SUV that struggles to stand out in the competitive midsize segment. While it offers a rugged design, the overall execution is disappointing. One of the main issues is the underwhelming engine options. The base 4-cylinder engine lacks power, and even the V6 doesn't feel as refined as competitors. The transmission is also slow to shift, making acceleration sluggish. Inside, the Acadia looks decent at first glance, but closer inspection reveals cost-cutting measures. The materials used are not as high quality as what you'd find in a Toyota Highlander or a Hyundai Palisade. The third-row seating is cramped, making it impractical for families looking for a true 3-row SUV. The biggest downside is reliability. Consumer Reports has highlighted multiple reports of electrical failures, engine stalling, and transmission breakdowns. The Acadia also falls behind in fuel economy, and when you add high repair costs, it's clear why this SUV is struggling to attract buyers. 2024 Chevrolet Trax. The Chevrolet Trax has been marketed as an affordable and practical subcompact SUV, but it falls short in many key areas. One of the biggest drawbacks is its weak engine. The small turbocharged powertrain struggles to deliver adequate acceleration, making highway driving a frustrating experience. The CVT transmission doesn't help either, as it often feels sluggish and unresponsive. Inside, the Trax is just as underwhelming. While Chevrolet has tried to modernize the cabin, the materials used still feel cheap. The seats lack comfort, and rear passenger space is tight, making it less practical for families. The infotainment system is another weak point, with laggy performance and an outdated interface that can't compete with rivals like the Hyundai Kona or Honda HR-V. Reliability has been a concern for the Trax, with Consumer Reports flagging multiple issues related to engine problems, electrical failures, and transmission breakdowns. Safety ratings are also lower than competitors, adding another reason why buyers tend to avoid this SUV. With so many other reliable and efficient options in the subcompact SUV segment, the Chevrolet Trax remains an unpopular choice in 2024. 2024 Ford EcoSport. The Ford EcoSport has long struggled to gain traction in the US market, and the 2024 model continues its downward spiral. One of the biggest issues with the EcoSport is its outdated design. The engine is underpowered, making acceleration painfully slow, and the ride quality is poor due to the stiff suspension. Even on smooth roads, the EcoSport feels bumpy and uncomfortable. Inside, things don't get much better. The cabin feels cheap, with excessive hard plastics that make it feel more like an economy car from the early 2000s than a modern SUV. The infotainment system is clunky and rear passenger space is severely limited. Cargo space is also below average for the segment, making it an impractical choice for those who need room for gear or groceries. Reliability issues have plagued the EcoSport for years, with reports of transmission failures, electrical malfunctions, and engine problems. Fuel efficiency is also unimpressive, making it even less appealing compared to rivals like the Toyota Corolla Cross or Honda HR-V. With all these downsides, it's no surprise that the Ford EcoSport is one of the worst-selling vehicles in 2024. 2024 Nissan Kicks. The Nissan Kicks is meant to be an affordable and fuel-efficient compact crossover, but its weaknesses make it a hard sell. The biggest problem is its lack of power. The small four-cylinder engine struggles to keep up with traffic, and highway merging can feel like a challenge. The CVT transmission doesn't help either, as it delivers sluggish acceleration and excessive engine noise. The interior is basic, with cheap-feeling materials and minimal tech features. The seats are not the most comfortable, and the cabin can feel cramped, especially for taller passengers. While it does offer decent cargo space, the overall practicality is overshadowed by the lackluster performance and comfort. Consumer Reports has flagged multiple reliability concerns, particularly with the transmission and electrical systems. The lack of all-wheel drive is another disadvantage, making the Kicks less capable in snowy or rough conditions. When compared to competitors like the Mazda CX-30 or Hyundai Venue, the Nissan Kicks falls short in nearly every category. 2024 Alfa Romeo Stelvio. The Alfa Romeo Stelvio is a luxury SUV that should offer a blend of performance and premium features, but it falls flat due to serious reliability concerns. While the turbocharged engine provides decent power, the ride quality is not as refined as competitors like the BMW X3 or Mercedes-Benz GLC. Handling is sporty but comes at the cost of comfort, making long trips feel rough. Reliability has always been Alfa Romeo's Achilles heel, and the Stelvio is no exception. Consumer Reports has documented frequent electrical issues, engine problems, and malfunctioning sensors. Given the high cost of repairs, many buyers shy away from this vehicle. While it may look appealing on the surface, the long-term ownership experience is far from ideal. 2024 Infiniti QX50. The Infiniti QX50 is meant to compete with luxury crossovers, but it struggles due to lackluster performance and reliability concerns. The biggest issue is the turbocharged VCT engine, which is supposed to offer variable compression for efficiency and power. However, in practice, it feels sluggish and unpredictable, making for an inconsistent driving experience. The CVT transmission also dampens acceleration, making the QX50 feel slower than its rivals. Inside, the cabin is spacious, but the materials don't feel as premium as what you'd expect from a luxury brand. The dual-screen infotainment system is confusing to use and prone to glitches. The seats are comfortable, but road noise is higher than expected in this segment. Reliability is a major issue as Consumer Reports has flagged multiple problems related to the engine, transmission, and electronics. With so many better luxury SUVs available, the Infiniti QX50 continues to struggle with sales in 2024. 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Diesel. While the Chevrolet Silverado is a popular truck, the diesel version has been plagued with problems. Consumer Reports has cited issues with the engine, transmission, and fuel system. Diesel variants have suffered from costly injector failures and emission system problems, leading to expensive repairs. Performance-wise, the diesel engine is strong, but the ride quality is rough, especially compared to rivals like the Ford F-150 or Ram 1500. The interior feels outdated, with lower quality materials and a lack of modern tech features. Reliability concerns make the diesel Silverado a risky purchase, especially for those looking for long-term durability. Given these drawbacks, it's no surprise that many buyers avoid this particular variant. 2024 Kia Forte. The Kia Forte is an affordable compact sedan, but its reliability issues have kept it off many buyers' lists. The biggest problem is its CVT transmission, which has been known to fail prematurely. Many owners have reported issues with rough shifting and poor acceleration, making it frustrating to drive. Inside, the cabin feels basic, with cheaper materials and a lack of noise insulation. The infotainment system is functional but not as responsive as what you'd find in competitors like the Honda Civic or Toyota Corolla. Reliability concerns make the Forte a less attractive option, While it's affordable, frequent transmission repairs and a lack of long-term durability keep it from being a smart buy. 30. 2024 Volkswagen Jetta. The Volkswagen Jetta used to be a popular compact sedan, but the 2024 model suffers from quality and reliability concerns. The biggest problem is the engine, which has been prone to oil consumption issues and turbocharger failures. The automatic transmission also feels jerky, reducing driving comfort. Inside, the Jetta offers decent space, but the materials feel supper compared to competitors. The infotainment system is prone to lag, and build quality is inconsistent. With declining reliability and a reputation for expensive repairs, the Jetta has lost its appeal. Most buyers opt for more dependable alternatives like the Mazda 3 or Honda Civic.